champions again.
DAZN is the home of boxing.
Really spurs you on, gets you going. Let's make history. Pure power. There's no way back from this, surely.
Fight Night on DAZN, brought to you by that prize guy.
If you had the choice, what prize would change your life?
Yes!
Woohoo!
Competitions from as little as 5p per entrant. What are you waiting for? You could be next to change your life with that prize guy.
If you think you are beaten, you are. If you think you'll lose, you're lost. Success begins with a person's will. It's a state of mind.
Introducing the casino you love to hate, Mr. Q.
The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
Right, welcome to Liverpool. It is fight week, it is press conference day, which means on Saturday night we see the return of the man many are calling the #1 pound-for-pound boxer in the UK today. He is unbeaten, he is a menace, he is the wrecking ball, Nick Ball. He's the unbeaten WBA World Featherweight Champion, and on Saturday he defends his crown against the former two-weight World Champion, who's this much bigger than him. It's a tall order for a reason. Brandon Figueroa is coming over here looking to become a 3-time world champion. And one promise from me is there'll be no ball puns, no ball gags. I won't talk about how Queensbury are running with the ball up here in Liverpool. I won't talk about how featherweights find it's a whole new ball game when they get in the ring with Nick Ball. No, no, there will be none of that. Just enjoy this presser. Well, it's great to be here in Liverpool, back in this incredible fighting city. DAZN here, and I am in great company. One of boxing media's fastest rising stars, Ruth Raper. How are you?
I'm good, and I'm very, very happy to be here.
As you should be, and look at this. Boxing royalty in town. Josh Taylor, undisputed champion once upon a time. How are you, sir?
Yeah, go and say that again. I like hearing that. Go and do that again.
Listen, let's go straight into it with the very top. Nick Ball,
yeah.
He holds 1/4 of these featherweight titles. Could he be a future undisputed champion?
Yeah, you never know, never say never, and I hope so, you know, because he's a great little fighter, you know, so obviously that's his targets, as I imagine that's his end goal, to become undisputed world champion. So yeah, absolutely, and what a chance he's got to do it as well.
He seems to be leading the way right now in this country. Some have him as pound for pound #1 today, Ruth, but it's a tall order, as they're calling it, on Saturday night against Brandon Figueroa.
It is, that's the name of the show, but honestly I don't think that's going to be the situation that we're going to see. I think Figueroa's got that 7-inch reach advantage, but if you've watched Figueroa, you will know that's irrelevant, because he doesn't use that reach advantage. He really doesn't. He pushes forward,
yeah.
He likes to get on their chest, and even sometimes he kind of smothers his work. I think that's going to play into Nick's hands perfectly, because he's got those shorter arms, I hope he won't mind me saying, but perfect for those hooks, for those uppercuts. And you know what, I think this fight could be fight of the night.
Look, I think it should be. Is it, like, people are calling this a firefight? Josh, what's your read on this, and what's your take on kind of Nick Ball, because he's soaring right now?
Yeah, he's flying. I think it's a tough fight, you know, it is, as you say, it's a tall order. I mean, he's so much taller than Nick, but I don't think that's anything new for Nick Ball, I would imagine. So I think that it's going to be a tough fight, but I've kind of predicted Nick Ball to get the points victory in the end. It's going to be quite tough, and you know, if Figueroa does come forward, I don't know how much experience Nick's had with people pushing him back, because he's always the one that's kind of coming forward and chasing other people down. So that might be a sort of big obstacle for him to try and come over and overcome on fight night. But I don't know how it's going to go. I'm kind of predicting it's Nick's going to be pushing forward and Figueroa might be on the back foot and try and make it awkward for him. So yeah, it's certainly an interesting fight.
Look, it's something I'm going to ask them. We've got the press conference, of course, very shortly. I'm going to ask Brandon Figueroa, because in his last fight he threw over 1,000 punches. I don't think people really do that against Nick Ball.
They don't, and that's another reason why I think this fight really could. We're looking at a contender of fight of the year. With that amount of pressure, with both of them not wanting to take a step backwards, this really comes down to who's going to break first, who's going to take that backward step. And as soon as one of them does, the other one's going to think, I've got you. Yeah,
100%. And in terms of Nick Ball, this resume that he's building up, he, of course, beat, well, a lot of people think he beat Ray Vargas, but he certainly beat Ray Ford, TJ DeHenny's in there as well, Ronnie Rios. But in terms of world title defences, this looks like the toughest one so far, Josh.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously the two guys are good fighters, so yeah, it's a very tough fight. And I do think Ball is up against it, to get in behind that sort of long range, so we've never really seen that from Nick, to try and use his range, so that's a big obstacle for him, and it's going to be an exciting watch.
How do you prepare for someone like Nick Ball if you're Brandon Figueroa, right? Because there's not many out there like him. 5'1", 5'2", he'll come right in. How do you deal with someone like that?
You just obviously try and get sort of shorter sparring partners and focus on, maybe if it was me, I'd focus on maybe sort of back against the ropes and fighting up close and in tight and at close range. That's how I would try and prepare for that sort of style. Obviously there's not very many that do fight like Nick Ball, so but that's how I would practice, would be sort of up against the ropes and sort of practicing at close quarters.
Yeah, certainly easier said than done, Ruth. We just saw a clip there of him kind of, battering TJ DeHenny at certain points in the fight there as well. Could be a real firefight on Saturday, and it's great to see Nick Ball boxing here in Liverpool as well.
It is. I mean, you'll be able to tell us, but boxing at home in your own back garden, if it is going to be as hard as we think this fight could be, that crowd really could make the difference in those later stages. And we've seen Nick in the past. He gets stronger as the fight goes on. He's got, I think, 2 12-round stoppages to his name. So the fact that it's in Liverpool, the atmosphere is going to be amazing. He's got loads of his stable mates on the card. I can't wait.
With that can come pressure as well, though, right?
It can do. It can do especially if you're a heavy favourite. It brings a different kind of pressure. It brings expectation rather than excitement. So I don't think this has got the expectation because it's a tough fight. What this brings is excitement for the fans, because it's a tough fight and it's a tough ask. So I don't think that kind of pressure is on Nick. So I think he's going to be enjoying it. I spoke to him a couple of minutes ago up there. He seems nice and relaxed and comfortable up front. His face looks fresh and full. So yeah, he seems up for it. It looks like he's enjoying it, which is great signs.
No, he's seen very, very fresh. I saw him a couple of weeks ago as well. It's all building up very nicely. There's so much other great talent on the card as well. We're going to hear from Jack Turner, Andrew Kane very shortly as well. What takes your pick from the undercard, Ruth?
It's got to be Andrew Kane. This fight for me is a really intriguing fight because Andrew's super sharp. He's a kind of come forward counter puncher. His opponent is very similar. At his best, he's coming forward, but like I said, a counter puncher. He likes to wait. They're both very methodical. So for me, I'm really intrigued to see what way that one goes. And of course, Jack Turner, I think you spent some time with him in the Rotunda. Something about him.
El Terrier, yes. He's a great little fighter, and his power isn't overrated either. I done a little bit of moving around on when I was in the Rotunda, sort of moving around, and he cracked me with a shot, and I was like super surprised. It was just a little guy, and he hit me a good shot, and I thought, oh, for a little guy, what a punch that is. That would be a sort of half decent punch for a light welterweight. I thought, whoa, so he's going to be used to hurting guys and used to overcoming guys with that kind of power. So the only thing I'd say to Jack, he was kind of gun-ho and happy before, but I saw changes in him. He's becoming more patient. He's becoming more poised with that power and not just relying on it. He's becoming more sort of a complete round fighter. He's kind of boxing a little bit more. He's using his range. He's using his head movement. He's using different angles rather than just going in hands up tight, walking people down and throwing big bombs. He's using his brain now. He's working his way inside in that now, and it's good to see the development that he's changing, and he's changing quite quickly. So yeah, I'm excited to see him progress.
Well, the future of Liverpool boxing is very much in safe hands. We're going to head over to the press conference very, very shortly, but I caught up with Nick Ball last week. Here's what he had to say. You've all been here, like yourself, Andrew, Brad, been here for many years now. I think Andrew a little bit longer, but it must be a nice feeling to all sort of come through together, being on the same shows, picking up titles on the same shows as well. It must be quite something.
Yeah, it's history-making stuff in it, but you don't even think about it because we're doing it every day. From how far we've come to selling tickets, to fight in nightclubs, sports centres, to now where we are selling out the city, in the Echo Arena, M&S Bank Arena, whatever you want to call it, all on the same show. It's something else.
And you're leading the way.
Yeah, leading the way, yeah. It's a good feeling.
I think Andrew's coming up very, close behind you now as well, a couple of fights away from becoming world champion. You must be backing him to do it. Yeah,
100%, yeah. He's got this fight to get out of the way, which he's going to do, and then he's on for the same as me, world title.
So what is it about this gym that brings this iron sharpening iron? What is so special about this gym, this environment?
In terms of boxing, I'd say how it's run, how the gym's ran, yeah. It's ran properly by Paul and Ant. He knows how to coach the fighters, keep them disciplined, keep them in line. Yeah, so it's ran properly, and everyone listens here. And when you listen, you learn. So, yeah, how it's ran, I'd say.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final press conference for a tall order, Ball versus Figueroa. It's World Championship Boxing this Saturday, February 7th from M&S Bank Arena in Liverpool, England. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry in association with TGB Promotions, along with their great sponsors, Riyadh Season, Unibet, That Prize Guy, 32 Red, and Global Next Trade. A big thanks to those great sponsors. Tickets are available via ticketquarter.co.uk, and you can watch it live worldwide exclusively on DAZN. Let's now welcome our press conference participants. First, competing Saturday in a scheduled 10-round contest for the WBA International Super Flyweight Championship. Let's welcome the challenger from Huigalpa, Nicaragua, Juan Carlos Martinez Urbina. Let's welcome the defending champion from right here, Liverpool, England, Jack El Teddy Hair Turner. Competing in a 12-round contest, it is a final eliminator for the WBC World Bantamweight Championship. Coming to us from Mexico City, Ciudad de Mexico, let's welcome Alejandro Jair Conejo Gonzalez. And from right here, Liverpool, England, Andrew Kane. Our highly anticipated main event Saturday, scheduled 12 rounds. It will be for the WBA Featherweight Championship of the World. Let's first welcome the challenger. He is a 2-division world champion from Weslaco, Texas, USA. Brandon, the Heartbreaker Figueroa. And now let's welcome the defending world champion from Liverpool, England, Nick the Wrecking Ball. We also welcome International Boxing Hall of Fame promoter, Mr. Frank Warren of Queensberry. And now we hand things over to your host, Mr. DAZN.
Thank you very much, Thomas Treiber. Can we get a round of applause for Thomas Treiber as well? Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Liverpool, where we are now hours away from the return of the man that many see as the #1 pound-for-pound boxer in the UK today. He is unbeaten, he is relentless, he's the WBA World Featherweight Champion. He's, of course, Nick the Wrecking Ball. On Saturday night, he is back, boxing right here in Liverpool, making the 4th defence of his world title in the city that made him. The man in the opposite corner, well, he's already had a taste of World Championship glory. In fact, he's done so in 2 weight divisions. And he's got heavy hands. From his 26 wins, 19 have come by way of knockout. They call him the Heartbreaker. And his plan on Saturday night is to break the heart of Nick Ball, break the hearts of UK fight fans, and become a 3-time world champion. There is no backward step with these fighters. They bring a lot of pressure, and the pressure is very much on, because only one man can walk away as the WBA World Featherweight Champion. Will it be Nick Ball, or will it be Brandon Figueroa? Find out all the answers live around the world on the global home of boxing, DAZN. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a tall order. We're going to start with Hall of Fame boxing promoter Frank Warren. And Frank, this is the first Queensbury UK show of the year. What a way to start with World Championship boxing and a hometown hero here in Nick Ball.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us. It's a pleasure to be here in Liverpool. We've really hit the ground running with Nick. This is, as Dev says, this is his 4th defence of his title, and he is, in my opinion, the most exciting fighter in Great Britain, probably in the world, certainly one of them. Unbelievable engine, all-action style, and he's in with a very good fighter in Brandon. And I'm expecting this to be a fabulous, fabulous fight. And hopefully, because I'm biased, see Nick go on to win this and go on to even bigger fights and unifications. But this has been a great journey with Nick and with the team, with Paul and everybody. And I can't wait for Saturday night. The atmosphere is going to be brilliant. I'm going to see Nick, I believe, at his best. And I believe that Brandon will bring the best out of him. It's a big test for him. So, a pleasure to be here. And, as I say, looking forward to seeing you all on Saturday night.
And Frank, just the last one for you. I remember a few years ago, it seemed to be a mission statement to get back to Liverpool, bring big-time boxing back here. And we're doing it time and time again. World champion here, great card as well.
We are, and we said that's what we set out to do, bring big-time boxing back here and bring big-time boxings back here with Nick as in this 4th defence. And we've also got Andrew on the card against Alexandro Gonzalez. This is a final eliminator for the title. Jack Turner, another great youngster in with John Martinez. And the reason it's so successful, the reason we can come here, because there is such a wealth of talent in the area. This is a fight city. Great fighters come from here, and they're just coming through in droves now. And these 2 guys to my right are on the cusp of doing some great things too. So, as I say, it's a pleasure to be here, but you can only be here if you've got the talent and the ammunition to do it, and we certainly have that in bundles.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Frank. Well, let's speak to one of those young men who's got all the talent in all the bundles. I mean, one of the heaviest hitters in the country, maybe in the world, coming through in Jack Turner. And Jack, it's a fight against Juan Carlos Martinez Urbina, and there's not a lot of information out there about him. I'm not sure he's got a picture on BoxRec. How have you prepared for this guy, who seems a bit of an unknown quantity?
Yeah, I've just been training hard in the gym really and seen little bits of him and that. Yeah, I think he's a decent fighter, but on Saturday night I'm going to show him why I'm levels above him.
I mean, 10 of your 13 fights so far have ended within 2 rounds. Do you think it will be the same on Saturday? Are we going to get a little bit more of Jack Turner?
Well, I hope it goes early, but if not, I'm going to put him through some pain, yeah. So, either way, I'm going to win.
Let's bring in your opponent here, Juan Carlos Martinez Urbina, who has a translator with him as well. Juan Carlos, how confident are you about Saturday night?
Primero que nada, buenas tardes a todos y muy agradecido con Dios, ¿verdad?, por esta oportunidad. Y estamos muy confiados, venimos aquí a ganar, no venimos a pasear, venimos a dar pelea, que es lo que venimos a hacer.
First of all, good afternoon, everyone. I want to thank God first, and we're really prepared for this fight. We're confident, and we came here to win.
Your opponent has said that he is going to put you through pain. What do you think about that?
Pues yo sinceramente pues no me gusta hablar, hacer las cosas arriba del ring, ¿verdad? Y ahí se va a demostrar todo lo que él dice.
I don't really like to talk a lot. I want to show it on the ring, so he's gonna see it, and he's gonna be able to see it inside the ring.
What is it that you can do that is different to all of his other opponents?
¿Qué crees que puedes hacer que es diferente a contra de todos los oponentes, contrincantes?
Pues nosotros traemos nuestra estrategia de trabajo, ¿verdad? Venimos bien preparados mentalmente y físicamente y la meta es venir a ganar, pues.
So we've got our own strategy. We are mentally prepared, physically prepared, and we've got with a mentality that we're going to win.
Well, Jack Turner, you've got an opponent here who is very confident. Sounds like he's coming to win on Saturday. So this is a proper fight on Saturday for you.
Yeah, every fight's a proper fight, but yeah, when he hits him with the 8-ounce gloves on, we'll just wait and see, innit? See what happens.
Jack, you're 6 with the WBA, I think, at the moment as well. Are you allowing yourself to think about potential world title fights in the near future?
Yeah, of course, yeah, that's what I want. Each fight's just another stepping stone to get where I want to be, so yeah, I know I'm not that far off to a world title, and yeah, just got to keep doing what I've been doing, knocking people out.
And what's your final prediction then for Saturday, Jack?
Jack Turner knockout.
Okay. There you have it, and that's what he tends to do as well. Jack Turner versus Juan Carlos Martinez Urbina, WBA International Super Flyweight Championship on the line. Let's move up the table, and this is a fascinating chief support bout. Andrew Kane is getting closer and closer to a world title shot, and he takes on Alejandro Herr Gonzalez here in a final eliminator for the WBC World Bantamweight Championship. Andrew, this time at the launch press conference, I mean, your opponent wasn't there. Now you have seen your opponent. You faced off with him last night as well. What are the emotions this close to fight night?
Just proper excited to get going now, Dev. Can't wait for Saturday. And seen him yesterday. Eyes on the prize. And yeah, just focused and can't wait to get in there.
Well, your last opponent in Liverpool, I think it's fair to say his tactics were a little bit more negative. What are you expecting on Saturday night? Because my feeling is Alejandro here is going to come for a fight.
Yeah, definitely. You know, most of these Mexican fighters, they're known for that. They're always up for it, aren't they? And they're keen to get in there and have a fight. But I believe that I'm going to outbox this fella and get him out of there.
We've seen a number of Mexican fighters come over here over the years and upset the home fighter, go back home with a belt or go back home with a big ranking. How do we make sure that doesn't happen to Andrew Kane on Saturday?
Just go in there and enjoy myself, Dave, mostly. You know, use my jab, my movement, and pick a few nice clean counters and get this fella out of there.
Well, let's speak to this fella, Alejandro Herr Gonzalez. Tell us what this opportunity means to you on Saturday.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Buen día antes que nada a todos. Pues esta oportunidad creo que es significativa, significa el trabajo de toda mi carrera, que hemos estado esperando pues con ansiedad. Y pues igual nos esforzamos mucho, estamos muy contentos, estoy muy emocionado y sobre todo porque tengo a todo mi equipo y a mi familia pues apoyándonos, están de este lado y pues nada, muy contento de que ya llegue la hora.
Good afternoon, everyone. So this opportunity means that we're going to be able to show the work that my team and that we've been preparing for all of this. We're really excited. My family, my team, we're going to show that we put a lot of work into this fight.
And your opponent, Andrew Kane, is a very good boxer, has a lot of power. How are you going to deal with that?
Tu oponente es un muy buen boxeador, tiene mucho poder. ¿Cómo vas a hacerle contra eso?
Sí, mi rival es muy bueno, tiene muchas cualidades, pero creo que lo dije desde el principio de mi preparación. Yo no he peleado nunca con un boxeador como Kane, pero estoy seguro que él tampoco ha peleado con un rival como yo.
Yeah, my opponent is really good. He's a really good fighter, but as I've said it before, I've never fought out someone like Kane, but he's never fought someone like me.
Your nickname is Conejo. Can you tell us what this means?
Una historia muy larga, me la puso mi tía, que es mi entrenadora, es un apodo familiar desde pequeño, y pues ya no sé si me quedó.
So it's a really long story, but my aunt that's over there, she put me that nickname, and I've had it since I was a little kid.
Okay, it's a good nickname. I just thought I'd bring it up. Andrew, let me bring you back in here, because your opponent here says that you've never boxed anyone like him. What do you think about that?
Sorry, what was that there?
Your opponent says that you've never boxed anyone like him.
He's right. You know, everyone's different, every fight's different. But no, I just prepare the best that I can and try and work on everything that I can to be able to adapt on the night as and when I need to. So yeah, I turn up, Dev, and I'll beat anyone in the world, me mate, and I'll prove that on Saturday, and I'll prove that again and again until I've got that gold WBC belt around my waist.
Alejandro, another one for you. What is your prediction for this fight on Saturday night? How will it play out?
Nada, pues creo que es de pronóstico reservado. Va a ser una muy buena pelea, eso sí. Creo que ambos venimos bien preparados y pues la finalidad de esto es una muy buena pelea y pues que gane el mejor. Mucho respeto a mi rival. Y pues bueno, voy a salir a darlo todo. Venimos bien preparados.
At the end of the day, it's going to be a really good fight. I know my opponent and I are really well prepared, and we're going to show it all in the ring. So we're excited for the fight.
And Andrew, at the launch press conference, you promised a devastating knockout. I can't imagine you've changed your mind this close to the fight.
No, you know, I'm always looking for a devastating knockout, Dev, but I'll be going in there and enjoying myself also, you know, and using my boxing skills and my ring IQ. And, you know, these fights are the fights that I need to be able to do that. You know, I need good fighters in front of me to bring the best out of me. And this has been 20 years in the making for me, and I'll be definitely taking it with both hands on Saturday.
Fantastic stuff. Let's hear it for Andrew Kane and Alejandro Gonzalez. As Andrew Kane says, 20 years in the making, huge opportunity on Saturday night to move closer to World Championship glory. Well, speaking of World Championship glory, let's talk about this main event. Let's talk about the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the UK today, Nick the Wrecking Ball, in against a very tough two-weight world champion, mandatory challenger in Brandon Figueroa. Nick, I'm going to start with you here, because you've said that the fights in this city, the city that made you, they mean something a little bit extra.
Yeah, definitely, Dev. There's no place like home, is there? And here we are back home. We've been all around the world fighting on these big shows, big events. But you realise back home it's something else. You know, makes you appreciate it. And this is what it's all about. And Frank's the man in it, behind it, putting it on. So massive thanks to Frank and Queensbury.
The fight is called a tall order. He's the taller man. He brings power, volume and genuine World Championship experience. Are you looking at this as the toughest fight of your career?
Yeah, definitely. You know, definitely not overlooking him and things like that, but in terms of when you're saying it's a tall order, that's good. That's where I'm most comfortable. I've been doing this my whole life. It's nothing new to me. You know, taller they are, harder they fall. Bigger target, bigger body, all bigger things to hit. So, yeah.
Well, let's hear from Brandon Figueroa, 48 hours away now, and give us your kind of opening thoughts back here in Liverpool and very close to your chance to become a 3-time world champion.
Hola, primeramente le quiero dar las gracias a Dios, gracias a los medios que están aquí, mi familia, mi equipo. Tuvimos un campo bien fuerte, estoy muy orgulloso de todo mi trabajo, muy feliz, muy contento y estamos listos. First off, I want to thank God, thank my family, the media, everyone being here for the press conference. I'm just very excited. Me and my team had a great training camp, and I'm just very excited, to let my hands go this Saturday. And yes, just very happy, very content, and I can't wait for Saturday.
Well, Nick Paul says that the taller they are, the harder they fall, and that the bigger you are, you've got more of a target, so he can hit you in more places easier, I guess. What are your thoughts?
I guess we'll see Saturday night. They all say the same thing, and, it never works out the way they wanted to. So, Saturday night we're going to see if he can back up all the talk. 6 rounds, supposedly 6 rounds that they were going to hit me 200 times in the head. So, we'll find out. I'm not the one to really talk. I guess Saturday we'll just go out there and see who's the better man. I'm confident. Very confident in my game plan, my team, the preparation, everything that we've been doing, and I just can't wait to put it all together Saturday.
Nick, let me ask you this. In Brandon's last fight, he threw over 1,000 punches. I don't think I've ever seen anyone throw that many punches against you. Do you think he'll be doing that?
He's going to try, and he's going to try and do what he wants, but whether I'm going to let him is a different story. And he threw over, 1,000 punches in his last fight against someone who's not me. So I don't really take too much from it. It's what's coming back at you, isn't it? What you've got to worry about.
Brandon, do you think you can show that level of aggression against Nick Paul? Throw that many punches? We don't see it.
Of course, I always do. I always bring the fight. I'm always really prepared, very conditioned, very prepared, and like I said, me and my team have worked really hard in camp, and I'm just very confident. I know what I bring, my abilities, and Saturday night, Liverpool fans are going to see my style of fighting, and you guys are going to love it.
You've said to me before, Brandon, that this is going to come down to who wants it more, and you're absolutely adamant that you want it more. Give us an indication as to how much you do want it and how important this fight is for you right now at this stage in your career.
Oh, me and my coaches know, they know how bad I wanted it in camp, the hours I put in the gym, the early mornings, the mountain runs, everything that we put in, I just can't wait. I just can't wait for everyone to see and for me to showcase my craft, my skills, and, my family's here as well, and, I couldn't be any more happy. I'm just very excited. I love this sport so much. I'm passionate about the sport, and I just can't wait to be world champion again.
Nick, you've said to me a few times that these opponents, they say things, they say what they're going to do on fight night, and then when they get in with you, it's a whole different ball game. What is going to be so different about you? What is it that you've got that Brandon Figueroa here can't deal with?
We found out on the night, Dev, don't really know until I get in there with him, but I know it's going to be an exciting one.
Your 2 defences that you've had in Liverpool have ended within the distance. Are you expecting to knock out Brandon Figueroa on Saturday?
Yeah, expecting anything really. It can go early, it can go late. It's going to end in a win for Nick Paul.
What's your feeling on it, Brandon? If this plays out exactly to plan in your head, how does the fight play out?
I just can't wait here, and knew. That's the only words that keep ringing in my head. That's the only words I keep hearing at the gym. And it's just a matter of time.
We've seen you take the unbeaten record of Luis Neri. That was a big win for you in your career, a knockout win as well. Do you believe you can knock out Nick Paul, become world champion that way?
Of course, I feel like I can do it all. Everyone underestimated me for that fight. I was the big underdog. Luis Neri was knocking out everyone until he faced me. And, you guys saw what happened that night. I just stayed quiet, stuck to my game plan, and came out of there with the belt.
You most certainly did. Frank, let me bring you back in here. I mean, a fantastic main event fight here, and, you know, he's a mandatory challenger, not a voluntary. Nick Ball has to fight him.
He has. It's been ordered, but, you know, Nick steps up to the plate. He's not fazed by anybody. And Brandon, obviously, he's here. He's a man on a mission. And we got a good fight. You know, DAZN on Saturday night. If you're not live, watch it on DAZN. It's the home of great fights, and this is a great fight. This has a potential to be fight of the year. It's going to be an exciting fight, and the people who are going to benefit from this are the customers, the people, whether they're there live or, as I say, watch it on DAZN. Do not miss it. It's going to be a great fight.
I think we've got a few questions from the media as well. Matt Rich here has a roaming mic, so when you do get the mic, please identify yourself and ask away.
Amy Khan with Seconds Out question, first of all, for Brandon Figueroa. Brandon, your record, you support a number of great fighters like Gonzalez, Neri, Muxaya. How does Nick Ball compare to those names?
Of course, you know, he's a great champion. I mean, he's undefeated for a reason. You know, I'm fighting in his backyard, so there's a lot at stake for him. You know, I know he's going to come with everything, and the same way I am, but, you know, like I said, we're going to have to find out Saturday.
How long have you been in the UK for, Brandon?
Since Thursday.
Okay. Nick, for yourself, like Deb mentioned, Brandon throws 1,000 punches in a fight. Is it ever a struggle to find sparring partners that can replicate that style?
Yeah, you can get ones who've got similarities, can't you? But you can't get the real thing. But it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't really worry about what he throws, what he does, who he's been in with, what he's done. I don't really care. He hasn't been in with me, and I focus on myself, and I know what I can do, and what I've got to do, and what I'm going to do, and that's all that matters.
Appreciate you've got Brandon in front of you, but I was in New York. I spoke to Bruce Shushu Carrington. He says he wants to come to the UK and turn it to Shuke. He's been calling out yourself for a fight that says that it hasn't materialised, of course. Is Bruce on your radar for unification?
Yeah, let's see if he turns up. Let's see if he turns up then, but I'm fully focused on Brandon Figueroa Saturday night.
Tom Ivers for Boxing Scene. Nick, the Brits are flying at the moment. Josh Kelly became the latest world champion. You've got 6 now. Do you think you're the best of the bunch?
Yeah, I don't really look at it as I'm the best, you get me? That's for everyone else to decide, but I'm the one who's defending it most. Yeah, this is my 4th defence, so yeah, I'm defending my belt. This is the 4th time, so it's good.
Do you feel any pressure to keep this good British run going?
Not really, no. I always knew it was going to happen. It was just a matter of when and getting the opportunity, and Frank done that. Backed me from day one, got me the opportunities, and here we are in Liverpool now. So, yeah, it's just good to be here, because I've dreamed of this since a kid, fighting in my home city. So now that I'm doing it, it means everything to me.
And same question for Frank. Do you think Nick's the best Brit in the world?
He's pound for pound best fighter in this country. That's what he is. And I believe he'll show that again on Saturday night against a very, very good fighter in Brandon. You know, and I'm going to repeat myself because I'm getting old, but this is going to be a great fight. This is going to be a very exciting fight. All action. You know, they both throw lots of punches, got great work rate, the pair of them, so you're going to see something special. We're a special British fighter.
Any more? Okay, no more. And there we have it. That is the main event on Saturday night. Let's hear it for Nick Ball and Brandon Figueroa. WBA World Featherweight Championship will be on the line, of course, live around the world on DAZN. We're going to get a face-off now. We're actually going to get 3 face-offs, and we'll see you on Saturday.
You guys just come stand over here. We'll do the face-off. We'll shoot and move the podium across. Thank you very much.
You've all been here, like yourself, Andrew, Brad, been here for many years now. I think Andrew. Well, it's great to be back here in Liverpool. I'm looking forward to this. I always like a Nick Ball face-off because he is always looking up. It's a tall order. Brandon Figueroa will be looking down, but as you said, he doesn't really fight tall, so I'm not sure how much of a factor it is, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, if he can start sort of using his length and his reach, that might create a problem.
Competing Saturday in a 10-round contest for the WBA International Super Flyweight Championship.
Short range, so
it's the challenger,
well, there's your man, Jack Turner, WBA International Champion.
Jack Elthony Turner.
Well, this will be interesting. Jack Turner, every time you ask him, all he says is, it's going to be a knockout. I mean, he tends to be right.
Yeah, well, you know, he's certainly not lacking in confidence of getting the knockout, so I love his press conferences. He's always straight to the point. Yeah, knockouts. I love it.
Saturday in a 12-round contest, it is a final eliminator for the WBC World Bantamweight Championship. Alejandro Jair Conejo Gonzalez versus Andrew Kane.
I love this fight. What a chief support this is. Andrew Kane, Alejandro Gonzalez, Ruth.
Yeah, I think this one has slightly slipped under the radar a little bit. It's going to be really exciting to see who can get the better of each other.
Worldwide, exclusively on DAZN.
When Andrew Kane faces off with an opponent, I would rather be anyone in the world than that opponent. Goodness me. That is a serious face-off from Andrew Kane. Big opportunity for him on Saturday night. Final eliminator for the WBC World Bantamweight Championship. Very shortly, we're going to get the face-off now with Nick Ball, Brandon Figueroa.
This, our main event, Saturday, live worldwide exclusively on DAZN. Brought to you by Frank Warren for Queensberry in association with TGB Promotions. It is 12 rounds scheduled for the WBA Featherweight Championship of the World. The challenger, Brandon the Heartbreaker Figueroa versus the defending world champion, Nick the Wrecking Ball.
I'll tell you what, there is an extra menace about Nick Ball. He's gone right in there, and Brandon Figueroa, he's not going anywhere.
They're not playing games. This is going to be a serious fight. It's 50-50. Nick has got a man on his hands here who's a former two-weight world champion.
Mandatory challenger, of course, Brandon Figueroa, probably not the kind of guy you choose to have a voluntary against. Former two-weight world champion, as you say, Ruth, he throws a lot of punches, Josh.
Worldwide, exclusively.
It does pose a lot of problems, and it's one as a boxing fan, I'm very excited to watch. It's got all the makings to be a great fight. I mean, going from the face-off there, he seems right up for it and looks like he's going to bring the fire. And so, yeah, it's got the makings to be a great fight.
I think it's always a sign, a good sign, I guess, when the away fighter brings a lot of family with them. They've made plenty of noise here today for Brandon Figueroa. They fancy it, Josh.
Yeah, and rightly so. You know, they've obviously had a good camp and feeling good and confident in themselves and within the team and in the camp. So, yeah, again, it's positive for us boxing fans on the outside. It's going to make a positive and exciting fight to watch.
No major takeaways from the press conference. Wasn't a lot of beef. It's always difficult when you've got translators, but we've got a lot of serious fighters up there just ready to go, Ruth.
They're very serious. I think Brandon feels like he's going through a bit of a resurgence.
Yes.
In his corner, he's now with Manny Robles, this is going to be only his second time in his corner, so his second training camp. Previous to that, it was always his dad, so he made a big change after that loss to Stephen Fulton. So we might be seeing a few changes with Brandon, things we're not used to seeing.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, actually. Against Joey Gonzalez, that was Brandon Figueroa's last fight. That was his first fight with a new trainer, and he got a lot of criticism for that fight. How difficult is it to adjust to a new trainer? You've had a couple over the years.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on kind of the trainer, really. You know, you obviously get to know your fighter and you know his strengths and stuff like that. So I kind of think like you kind of can't really reinvent the wheel. Like you get a fighter, you have to figure out his strengths and his weaknesses. You work on his strengths and work to his advantages rather than try and change him. You know, just try to improve in the bits that is a little bit weaker rather than try and change it. You can't really reinvent the wheel with boxing.
Well, 2 just became 3 because Hall of Fame boxing promoter, looking slick, looking smart as ever, Frank Warren is in town with Josh Taylor. We was talking at the very top. Josh Taylor, of course, former undisputed champion. I think maybe Nick Ball can start collecting those other belts. Got to come through on Saturday.
Well, I hope so, but he's got a tough fight there, and it was quite intense up there just now, the face-off, and he seems quite confident, Brandon.
I've got to ask you, this is a mandatory challenger. Would Brandon Figueroa be someone that you choose as a voluntary?
No, being very honest. Why would you do it? You know, I certainly wouldn't. It's you know, we'd be looking to do other things, but look, it's there, and that's what mandatory is about. You know, you have to defend your belt and show what you're all about, and Nick's capable of doing that, I believe.
There's something about fighting in the hometown as well. Josh knows all about it, but it must be very pleasing for you, Frank, to see how Liverpool do turn up. Even at the press conference today, plenty in here. Going to be plenty in there on Saturday. They're getting behind him.
Well, they are, and you know, it's a fight city, Liverpool, and you know, we work very hard between all of us, obviously with the talent here, spearheaded by Nick, to deliver some big shows and good shows, and a lot of their fighters from the Northwest are now all coming through. The undercard's stacked. There's some good fights here. Final eliminator with Andrew, Young Jack, and a few of the others on there. Brad Strand. I mean, it's going to be a great night, and I'm delighted what's happening up here. You know, boxing's having such a revival. Various places around the country. I mean, you know, up in Scotland sold out. Then the show sold out up there. We sold out everywhere we're going. Dublin sold out. This is doing extremely well tomorrow. I hope it's going to be a sellout here. Manchester, we got Moses on. They're just all really, really good shows. And the reason people are buying tickets because they're so into boxing now, and boxing's so competitive.
They most certainly are. There were some noises over the weekend from the newly crowned WBC World Featherweight Champion Bruce Carrington. He said he's thinking about coming up to Liverpool. Have you heard any more? Is he coming up?
He's more than welcome. Tell him to come over here, and we're giving him the best seat in the house.
Well, that would be the seat next to you. Josh, how are you feeling being around all of this? Another great show lined up by Queensbury as well. So many great fighters. Jack Turner in particular, I know you're a fan of.
I do like Jack. You know, it's just straight to the point. He's no messing around. He said, "Yeah, I'm going to knock him out." You know, and I love that about him because he genuinely believes it. You know, but what I like about Jack and what I've seen from him, being in the gym with him and stuff, when he first come in, he was real raw and just kind of relied on his power and a real sort of slugger to be kind of critical of him. But he's developed a good boxing brain under the tutelage of Joe and the guys at the gym. He's now beginning to not rely on his power now. He knows he's got that in the locker and in his back pocket. He's now beginning to box and move and use his brain. So yeah, he's improved a lot, and he's developing nicely, and he's going to be a good little fighter.
There's something about Jack Turner, isn't there, Frank? You know, you've seen guys like this come
Jack,
through.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I mean, and you know, Josh is dead right. All what he said, you know, he is developing, and he does have natural power. But as he says, that's in the locker, and what he does in style. I think he's had 6 on the trot now. I think 6 knockouts on the trot. You know, he's an exciting little fighter, and he's got so much self-confidence and belief. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, terrific card as well. So much great talent on there. Frank, to take you just away from this, when can we expect some announcement? There's so many great heavyweights that you've got. Of course, we saw Wilder Chisora announced yesterday. What can you tell us about Fabio Wardley, Daniel Dubois, Lawrence Okoli, all of these kind of guys?
There'll be announcements, you know, over the next couple of weeks of all what they're doing. You know, we've been working on it, but until the ink's dried on the contracts with the opponents, we can't announce anything yet. But we're quite close to announcing some fabulous fights for all the heavyweights, and also for Hamza. He's now got that world title fight against a German. Denzel Bentley in a great position to be announcing his fight. You know, it's exciting times.
How are you getting on, Josh, in this post-retirement kind of era?
Yeah,
how are you finding it?
I'm good. You know, I was struggling a little bit at the start, so it just kind of a sudden shock of change of life, really. You know, my whole life was boxing, all from travelling all over the world as an amateur, all over the continent of Europe and America and everywhere. You know, I'd been everywhere. So to then turning pro and then being away from home all the time again, on the road, travels, training all the time, to then all of a sudden being stuck at home doing nothing, you know, on my own in the house. You know, everyone's at work, everyone's doing something. So I end up being a little bit bored and a little bit sort of fed up. You know, there's only so much kind of gardening and stuff and things you can do, and talking to yourself you can do, and go and walk. So yeah, I kind of was struggling a little bit for a little while, but I'm through that now. You know, kind of settled down now.
It's a big culture shock for you, isn't it?
Yeah, huge culture change. But now obviously doing shows like this and getting invited and still being involved in boxing, which is great. So yeah, I'm loving it.
You're involved with us.
Yeah, that's it.
Great to have you here, Josh, by the way, as well. And yeah, Frank, you've seen so many boxers in transition over the years.
You know, we all think highly of you. So
thank you very much.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Frank. We're going to let you go. I'm sure you've got 400 interviews to do over there. I can see baying media waiting to get hold of you. Thank you very much. And thank you for tuning in. That was the press conference here today. Very, very tense face-offs, particularly with Nick Paul and Brandon Figueroa. It's a tall order on Saturday night. The WBA World Featherweight Championship will be on the line. Big-time boxing back in Liverpool, live on DAZN. Join us tomorrow for the weigh-in.
Introducing the casino you love to hate, Mr. Q.
What's he got saying? Turn around. Or join them.
One time, stray dog.
You've got the instincts. Now get the training.
If you had the choice, what prize would change your life?
Yes.
Woohoo!
The competition's from as little as 5p per entry. What are you waiting for? You could be next to change your life with that prize, guys.
Fight Night on DAZN, brought to you by That Prize Guy.
Don't miss the biggest night in MMA.
We are now set for the main event. Ronaldo with a shot. Let's go. One of the greats. Champions of the world.
There's all to play for, which is so exciting. These teams have to come